And we have a fantastic speaker. Now, the next speaker that we have on this stage, he discovered his first vulnerability, and he got root and a CVE at the age of 15, all right? So this is a speaker we all can learn a lot from. Please welcome to the stage, Aviad Carmel. Aviad! Hi. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Aviad. He is a recognized expert, and in addition to his security research, he is very passionate about teaching. That's why Aviad wrote and taught the reverse engineering and vulnerabilities course at the Technion Computer Science faculty. Now, that's quite an honor. Thank you, Aviad, for gracing us with your presence here in the lowly Tel Aviv University, which is not as high and mighty as the Technion up north. So we really appreciate it that you're joining us here with the simpletons here in Tel Aviv in the wild, wild west.
Thank you.
Now, you got your slides there, you got your clicker, you're good to go. Everybody, Aviad is going to tell us all about OAuth. And it's going to be a deep dive, so hold on tight.
Okay,
you feeling good?
Start in 5 minutes in the time, in case people from the outside want to see.
No, you're starting right now.
Right now.
You want? I can tell the audience some jokes if you like. I had the AI write some jokes.
Give me 2 minutes. 1 minute.
Really? No, you should start,
okay,
honey.
I will start.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll be right here telling jokes in case you need me.
Okay,
A picture, okay. Yeah. I can always tell the audience some more things, but I think they want to hear from you. They've been hearing from me all day.
So everybody can hear me at the top? Right? It's working? Okay. So let's check the pointer. Fine. So today I'm going to give a talk about OAuth. OAuth is the social sign-in when you log into website using your Facebook account or Google account. And in this talk, I'm going to show you how to break it. I'm going to teach you how to find OAuth vulnerabilities by yourself. So, first of all, about me. So, I'm Aviad Carmel, a security researcher, among other things, but today I'm a security researcher, and I work at Salt Security. It's an API security company. We discover, detect, and prevent API attacks. API are everywhere, websites, services, applications. So if you want to read more, you can visit the website salt.security. Now, why I started to do a research about OAuth? So, as you know, social sign-in is everywhere, used by 90% of the people. For example, who uses Facebook, Google to sign in? Right, I think all hands should be raised up because we all use Facebook, Google, Twitter, Apple to sign in. And in this research, what we wanted to check is how well secure OAuth, the social sign-in mechanism, is in 2023. And what we did is a count takeover on 1 billion accounts. Yes, you hear me right? 1 billion accounts. And every target has at least 100 million of users. And in this talk, I'm going to reveal most of the cards. Some of the target I'm going to reveal here for the first time. So it's going to be really interesting. Now, in this talk, I'm going to teach you what is OAuth, how it works, and how to break it on real targets, and how to fix it if you want to develop OAuth by yourself. So, what is OAuth? I want to take you back 20 years ago. So suppose there is a site, timeplanner.com, and you want to give your Gmail calendar, you want to give access to Gmail calendar to timeplanner.com. Now, 20 years ago, you had to give them your Gmail password. Yes, it's fucked up. You had to give them your Gmail password, and they could access your Gmail calendar, but theoretically, they could also access your emails, write emails on your behalf. So it's really insane, and that's what OAuth solves. With OAuth, you can give Time Planner access to your calendar only and without sharing password. So even if Time Planner is a malicious website, you have nothing to worry about. Now, while the example with Time Planner is authorization, because we are giving access to calendar, OAuth is even more popular to social sign-in, which is authentication. But both social sign-in and authorization is the same thing, same mechanism based on OAuth. The focus of the presentation is the social sign-in. And in 2014, a new standard OpenID Connect was released, which is a standard only for authentication, the social sign-in. But what you need to know that OpenID is also based on OAuth. So every vulnerability that I'm going to show you in this presentation is also relevant to OpenID. So before I deep dive into the vulnerabilities, I want to make sure everybody here understands how OAuth works. So let's do a brief overview. So suppose there is Dan. Dan is a regular person like every one of you, and he wants to connect to timeplanner.com using his Facebook account. So Dan goes to TimePlanner and says, hey, I want to log in using Facebook. And TimePlanner says, okay, tell Facebook that I needed access to your identity, email address as a proof. Dan goes to Facebook and says, hey, I need a proof to TimePlanner. He wants my email address. And Facebook generates a secret token for Dan. He remembers that secret123 is dan@gmail.com. And Dan is happy and tells TimePlanner, Facebook told me secret123. Now, TimePlanner, with secret123, with secret token 123, TimePlanner can directly talk with Facebook and ask, hey, what is the email of secret token 123? And Facebook says, it's Dan@gmail.com, you can trust him. So it's really interesting because Dan is lazy, he doesn't want to type his password, and using only one click, Dan could authenticate himself to TimePlanner using Facebook. So it's really magic how OAuth works. Now let's do the same slide again, but with more technical details. Now, when Dan clicks on continue with Facebook, what really happens that TimePlanner sends this URL to Dan, and Dan opens this URL in a new tab or a new window, and this URL have a lot of interesting parameters, but the most important one is the redirect URI. The redirect URI will tell Facebook where to send the secret token. And in the next step, I have a problem with the, okay. And the next step, Dan goes to Facebook, you see the confirmation message, and next time you see that confirmation message, pay attention to the URL. This is the same URL as you see right now in step 2. Now, Facebook generates the token for Dan and send it to the redirect URI. And that's how OAuth works. With 2 URL, a lot of redirection, but it's should be a little bit simple. And so that's it. So I want to show our journey to 1 billion accounts, and I'm going to reveal a card, one card at a time. So we will start with the first card, and surprise, it's Booking.com. So Booking.com, who uses Booking.com here? So it's really popular website, especially in Israel. Thousands of employees, $16 billion in annual revenue, really huge website. And let's see how OAuth works in Booking. So Dan clicks on continue with Facebook, and the flow starts very similar to TimePlanner. Booking sends this URL to Dan, the same URL with the redirect URI. Now Dan goes to Facebook, and Facebook generates a secret code. This time is a secret code, not secret token, and Dan takes the secret code 123. The browser of Dan automatically takes the secret code 123 and sends it to the redirect URI, which is a URL in accountbooking.com. Now, pay attention that the response type here is code and not token. But in OAuth, to talk with Facebook, eventually you need a token. So Booking needs to do additional step to exchange this code for a token. So Booking sends the code, receives from Facebook a token, and with a token, Booking can talk with Facebook to receive the identity of Dan. Now you might ask yourself, if Booking needs a code, if Booking needs a token, why asking for a code? Why Booking doesn't ask for a token directly? And the answer is security. because if an attacker, for example, steals the code, it's really impossible to exploit because the attacker can't exchange the code for a token because only Booking can do it. For exchanging the code for a token, there is a client secret that only Booking has. So it's more secured. Now let's summarize it. In the example with Time Planner, we saw that the response type was code, a response type was token. It's really simple, and it's also the only option if you don't have a backend, right? If you don't have a backend, you can't exchange the code for a token. It's an API from the backend. Now, if you do have a backend, probably we want to use code like Booking. In this flow, the token is never exposed to the browser, so it's more secure, and only Booking at the backend can exchange this code for a token. And if you want to read more about the difference between token and code, you can read the blog post. I will share a link later. There is a lot of information, so I can't deep dive into all the details, so sometimes I will give you a link to read more. Now, let's attack Booking.com, and our goal is to get the victim code to our domain. So let's take a look again on this diagram. And in OAuth, what we want to do is to try to manipulate the redirect URI. Now let's see what we can do. I, as the attacker, take this link from step 2. Okay, this is the link from step 2. And I changed only one thing, the path in the redirect URI. So the path, instead of social result Facebook, will be any path an attacker wants. And let's send this link to Dan. Dan is our victim. I put this link in an email. So the link says, hey Facebook, I'm Dan and I want to connect to Booking. Can you send my secret code to account booking.com any path an attacker wants? And Booking configured Facebook to validate only the domain. So this is why I can change the path. I can't change the domain, but I can change the path, and that's what I do right here. So let's see how it works. Dan clicks on this link, he goes to Facebook, and Facebook automatically redirects Dan to this redirect URI with the secret code. Now, it happens automatically because Facebook remembers that Dan already approved. Dan already clicked on Continue as Dan one time. So there is some misalignment because I created the slide with Google Drive and this is PowerPoint, but it's really minor things. So what I did here, I made Facebook to send the secret code to another path in Booking.com. Now you might ask yourself, what's the big deal? It's not a critical issue, right? What I did, I just sent the code to another path in Booking. And you are right. What I did is that I tricked Facebook to send the code to any path I want in account booking.com. But what I want to do is to send this code to my malicious domain, right? I want to read that code. I want to take over the account of Dan. I want to order vocations. So let's continue the research. And after an additional research time, I found this simple URL in the website of Booking. And if you click on this URL, Booking will redirect you to accountbooking.com/settings. Now, when you see a URL with EY, this is base 64 encoding, and the first thing that you want to do is to decrypt it, because you might find some interesting things. And in this case, the base 64 encoding is actually /settings. So you might guess what I want to do here. I want to change settings to my malicious domain. And what I did here, I created a link that if the victim clicks on that link, Booking will redirect him to my malicious domain. And it's also called an open redirection vulnerability because I created one link in one domain, and when someone clicks on this link, he will be redirected to another domain. Okay, so this is an open redirection. And what I want to do is to take this open redirection vulnerability. This is the first URL, and I take this URL and I insert it into the vulnerability, the bug one, the problem with the redirect URI, and the result is a longer link that if a victim clicks on this longer link, Booking will send the code or the credentials to my malicious domain. I mean, Facebook will send the credentials to my malicious domain. So it's really cool, and it's also a lot of information, so let's see it step by step. So when Dan clicks on this link, he goes to Facebook, he clicks on the link, and Facebook says the domain is valid, right? Because it's account, booking.com, the domain is valid. Facebook doesn't validate the path, and Facebook redirect Dan to Booking with the code. Now, Booking says, hey, Dan, what do you want from me, right? The links tell me to redirect you to attacker.com, and we at attacker.com now can read the secret code. Now, I didn't mention that the response type in the attack is not token, not code, is a combination of token and code. I don't have the time to deep dive into all the details, but you can read the reason in the post. I will share the link later. So what we have here, I made Facebook to send the code to my malicious domain. Now, the next thing that I want to do is to use this code to connect to booking.com as Dan, right? I want to take over the account of Dan. So the attacker starts a regular login flow with Booking, but in step 3, what the attacker does is sends the victim code. And what the attacker wants to happen is to take over the account of Dan. And what we know is that in the next step, Booking will exchange this code for a token. And problem, we got invalid code. It didn't work. And the question is, why? Why it didn't work? It's a valid code. I just stole it from Dan. Why it didn't work? Now, I can guess. I only can guess because I can't see the backend. I can't see what's going on between Booking and Facebook. I can guess that this API failed. I guess that Facebook says no in the result for this API. Now, let's check what is this API. Let's read the documentation of Facebook. Now, this is from the documentation at Facebook. When you exchange a code for an access token, there are several parameters, and one of the parameters is the redirect URI, and Facebook says that it must be the same as the original request URI that you used when starting the OAuth login process. Now, a lot of words, I want to explain it. So from the perspective of Facebook, victim code was generated to a strange redirect URI, right? It was a long redirect URI with the open redirection, but now someone uses this code with a shorter redirect URI. So from the perspective of Facebook, it's the same flow, same code, two different redirect URI, and Facebook says, no, something looks strange to me, and Facebook saves Booking from the account takeover. So really, congratulations to Facebook for saving Booking. But we want to try. We really want to do the account takeover. So what we want to do, what the attacker wants to do, is to bypass the validation of Facebook. And the problem is that I, as the attacker, got stuck. I didn't find something useful in the web. I didn't find anything interesting in the web. Now, when you don't find what you want on the web, what you do? You go for a mobile research. Mobile research, so I download the application of Booking. Now, I won't deep dive into all the details. I found this interesting API. This is an API that the application of Booking, the mobile application, sends the code to Booking. And you can see here the code. Here I use the code of the victim, but you can pay attention to the result URI. Now I can guess that Facebook will use my parameter, my input result URI in the request to Facebook when it exchanged the code for a token. So this is exactly what I wanted. So what I want to try is to change this result URI. Why this request is from my computer, I can change it. So I change the result URI. Okay, I change the result URI to the longer link, which I used for the initial attack. This is the long link with the open redirection. And it worked, and I connected as done to booking.com. I have account takeover with only simple Facebook link. I can send you a legitimate Facebook link. It's only a link to Facebook. And if you click on that link, I can access to your account in Booking. I can read your Visa cards. Thank you. It's getting worse, not in Booking, in other targets, so be with me. So summary, the attacker can take over Booking accounts using a legitimate Facebook link. Really, you just click on the link and everything happens automatically. And the vulnerability also impacts kayak.com because you can connect to kayak.com using your Booking account. So if I take over your accounts in Booking, I can log into Kayak. So maybe it's really a lot of accounts. And this vulnerability might also impact users that sign in using Google or even doesn't use social sign-in at all. And all the information is in the blog. You can visit Salt Security, click on Company, and then on Salt Labs. And the response, Booking fixes it really quickly, and you can read the response later. I will share the presentation. You can find it in the blog. And we had a lot of coverage in the media, so it was really big. It was 3 months ago. So now I want to continue to the next target. I already have 400 million of accounts, and that's if I don't count kayak.com, only Booking. So the next target is really special target because it's not one target, there is a delay when I click and when I see the, okay, so this is a framework and we got a CVE, so one vulnerability and we have access to 100 websites. So we are talking about the Expo framework. So meet Expo. What they do, it's a framework for developing mobile application and web. Someone uses Expo here? Someone develop mobile applications here? Okay, I see a few hands. And they're really popular. They're used by 600,000 of developers, so they're really huge. And what I want to do is to develop my own application using Expo and to see how OAuth works in Expo and how we can break it. So let's see how OAuth works in Expo. Now, Dan clicks on login with Facebook in an application that was developed with Expo. And Expo cool app redirects Dan to Expo. There is a confirmation message. When Dan clicks on yes, Expo redirects him to Facebook, and Dan authenticates himself with Facebook. And after that, Facebook redirects Dan to Expo with the secret token, and Expo sends the secret token to cool app. So it's a lot of redirection, but it's good because when you have a lot of redirection, you also have a lot of chances to steal the token. So I want to do the same slide again, but with more technical details. Now, when Dan click on login with Facebook or sign in with Google, it's the same thing, just using Facebook because it's more convenient for me, but it's also true for Google. So when Dan clicks on login with Facebook or sign in with Google, cool app redirects Dan to this URL in OAuth Expo.io. When Dan clicks on yes, Expo redirects Dan to this Facebook link, and you're already familiar with this link in Facebook with the redirect URI, right? So Facebook will send the secret token to the redirect URI here. And so Facebook sends the token to Expo, and at the last step, Expo sends the token to cool app. Now, we want to attack it. We want to find a way to steal the secret 123. Now, do you have an idea? Take a few seconds to look at this slide. First of all, in OAuth, the first thing that you want to try is to manipulate the redirect URI, right? It worked for Facebook, maybe it will also work here. But the problem is that Expo instructs the developers to configure the redirect URI as a full path. So in this case, I can't do the same attack like I did in Booking. I can't change the redirect URI. So pay attention to another interesting thing. There is a return URL. So maybe I can change it. So what I want to do as the attacker is to change this parameter, the return URL, to my malicious domain. And what I want to happen, the theoretic attack, is that if I change the return URL to attacker.com, then maybe, just maybe, at the last step, Expo will send the secret token to me, to my malicious domain. This is my goal. So let's see how it works, if it works. So we created, I take the same link that you saw in the previous slide. I changed the return URL to attacker.com, and the attacker sends this link, the done. Now, what the attacker expects is that done clicks on this malicious link from a web or mobile, and the link starts a login flow with Expo and Facebook, like you saw in the previous slide. Now, at the last step of the flow, Expo will send the secret token to attacker.com. That's what the attacker wants. So let's see the reality. When done clicks on that link, there is a confirmation message. The clicker doesn't work. Okay, there is a confirmation message. Now, maybe if Dan clicks on yes, then I can steal his token. Really fine, but I can't trust Dan that he will click on yes, right? Maybe Dan will click on no. So what I want to do is to find a way to bypass this confirmation message. So let's take a closer look at this confirmation message. Now, when Dan clicks on that link, he got a response from Expo. Now, take a look at the response from Expo. There are two interesting parameters, two interesting things. First of all, there is the HTML code. This is the confirmation message. And if Dan clicks on yes, Expo will redirect him to the next step, to Facebook, right, to continue the flow. Now, pay attention to the set cookie. The set cookie, RU, is set to return URL, to my malicious domain. Now, it will tell Expo where to send the secret token. Now, can you see the problem here? The set cookie is in the HTTP header. So no matter what Dan chooses, even if Dan clicks on no, the RU value will be anyway set because it is in the HTTP header. So what can we do with that? We can send two links to Dan. The first link is the regular link to Expo, and the second link is a link to Facebook to continue the flow. So if Dan clicks on no, I will force him to continue the flow. So let's see how it works. Dan clicks on this link, and he got a response from Expo, and the only thing that's important for me, that Expo set the cookie RU in the browser of Dan to my malicious domain. Now, I don't care if Dan clicks on yes or no, I only care about the RU value. Now I send Dan a next link to Facebook. Dan clicks on the link to Facebook. Facebook redirects Dan to Expo. And Expo will read the value RU from the cookie and will send the secret token to my malicious domain. So in this way, I can steal the token of Dan. Now, you might ask yourself, can I really send two links to Dan? This is an attack. So no, it's a problem. We can't really ask the victim to click on two links. So I created an automatic exploit. This exploit does everything automatically. And if you want to read and understand the exploit, you can again visit Sol Security Company, Salt Labs, and you find the blog post there with all the information about the exploit. So let's summarize. We discovered that more than 100 websites have been affected. For example, one website is Codecademy. Who knows Codecademy? Wow, okay, really a lot of people, nice. So Codecademy has 100 million accounts, and it's used by Google, Amazon, LinkedIn. So we demonstrated the exploit on Codecademy and also on other websites. And it works also on Google, Apple, Twitter sign-in, not only Facebook. And Expo responded really quickly. They released a first fix after a few hours, really, it's really impressive. And eventually they decide to deprecate, to remove this service. They decided to remove it completely. So it's really cool. And we also got a CVE with a really critical score. So this is about Expo. So how many accounts we have? Thank you. So how many accounts we have? We have 700 million accounts. Now, the next target is actually a method. It's not one target, it's a several target. So let's see it. It's going to be really insane. Maybe I need to press harder on the clicker. So I call this attack a zero-click account takeover or access token reuse. So just a note, the next slides are not related to Expo or Booking. So if you miss something, because we saw a lot of information, so if you miss something, you can still follow. It's a different kind of a vulnerability. So now it's the time to back and listen to this insane vulnerability, really insane. Okay, so let's start by reading the documentation of Facebook. So at the documentation, Facebook says that when token is received, there are two types of response type, right? Code and token. Now, when token is received, it needs to be verified. You need to verify who the token was generated for. That means that it's the responsibility of the developer to verify the access token. Now, the question is, what can possibly go wrong? And when you give such a responsibility to developers, a lot, really a lot. So let's see. So meet an example vulnerable target, myvideo.net, which doesn't verify the access token. And what I want to do is to exploit the fact that he forgot to verify the access token. So let's see how OAuth works in myvideo.net. And you already saw this slide. This is the same thing like Time Planner, the same thing. Dan authenticates himself to my video. He sends the secret 1, 2, 3. This is the same slide, same thing. You already saw that. Now, I just want to change the name of the secret. Instead calling it secret 1, 2, 3, let's call it token of Dan for myvideo.net. I just changed the name. That's all. Now, it makes sense because Facebook generated this token for myvideo.net, and this token represents Dan, okay? Just a different name. Now, meet Time Planner, the new Time Planner. Now it's a malicious website developed by an attacker. So now timeplanner.com is a malicious website. And a lot of people connect to this malicious website. Dan, Kim, John, maybe you. And the attacker collects a lot of tokens because the attacker is the owner of Time Planner. So he can obtain those tokens legitimately. Nothing malicious here. The attacker is the owner of Time Planner and he can see all the tokens, all the code. He can see everything. Now, the attack scenario works like this. The attacker takes the token of Dan and he wants to inject the token of Dan to myvideo.net. The attacker wants to connect as Dan to myvideo.net. So the attacker sends the token of Dan for Time Planner. And reminder, myvideo.net needs to validate that the token was generated for him, but he doesn't verify the token. And he goes directly to Facebook and asks, hey, what is the identity of token of Dan for myplanner.com? And Facebook says, hey, I generated this token for Time Planner. So I guess you're a Time Planner, right? So it's Dan at gmail.com. You can trust him. And now the attacker connected as Dan to myvideo.net. Now, myvideo.net, it's not a real target. It's just for the slide. But it works. Theoretically, it works. Now, the question is, can I find this type of vulnerability in real website? Because if I can, it's going to be really insane. I want to make it clear. Dan only connected to timeplanner.com. That's all. And the attacker can connect to his account in another website. So the attack scenario works like this. in step one, the attacker publishes his app, timeplanner.com, and a lot of people connect. So the attacker has millions of tokens. And in step two, the attacker uses those tokens to connect to other websites like myvideo.net and do a massive account takeover. So let's see it on real targets. So what we want to do is to take the token of Dan for timeplanner.com and inject it to other real websites. Now let's see if we can do that. Now the first target is video.com, and you can see this is the same flow like you saw with Time Planner, like you saw with my video, and the attacker wants to start to log in with Facebook. My video says, okay, I'll tell Facebook that I need a token as a proof, and the attacker sends a token from another website. Token of Dan for timeplanner.com. You can see here the API request. I changed the access token to the access token that was generated for Time Planner, and it worked, and I connected as done. Really insane, because it's too simple, and I can take over account on a really big website. Video has 100 million of monthly active users. It's really huge. You can visit them after the lecture to see them. And they also have some kind of bug bounty program, so they put my name in their website. So it's really cool. Now let's jump to the next target, and the next target is a big e-commerce website. They are still working on a fix, so I can't mention their name right now. They have 150 million of accounts, and this is an e-commerce website. So if you do account takeover, you can read Visa cards, bank accounts, really a lot of things. And the same thing like video, the same thing like myvideo.net, it worked, and I have account takeover. So this is the second target. Now, I just want to make it clear. Dan only connect to one website, timeplanner.com. And I already took over the account of Dan on 2 other websites. Now let's jump to the next target. Now this is a really big service. I think that all of you here use this service. Unfortunately, I can't share the name. They are also right now working on a fix, but when I will share the name, I think it will shock you. So this target is not simple like the previous. As you can see, the response type is code, not token. So what I need to send them is the code of Dan from Time Planner. Now, it's not a problem because I have the token and I have the code of Dan. So I tried to send them the code of Dan for Time Planner, but it didn't work. I got an invalid code. I got an error, the code was taken from another website. So I read the documentation of Facebook, and Facebook says that when you use code to exchange it for a token, Facebook does the validation, or Facebook does the validation for you. So code is really more secure compared to token. Now, I really want to take over accounts on this website. I really want. So I don't want to give up. Can you see something stranger? Can you see what I see? What? The code. Okay. So the question is, why the word code is in the request? Do they accept other things? Maybe I can force them to receive a token. Maybe there is a hidden flow, hidden API. So I tried to use a token, and nope, it didn't work. So I tried to use access token, and it didn't work. And I tried to use Facebook token. And I tried a lot of values, really. And Facebook token, it worked. So you can see that I use Facebook token. This is a token of Dan for timeplanner.com with another website, and I could connect them as Dan. And they are still working on a fix. It's a really critical vulnerability. So if you connect to timeplanner.com, I can automatically take over your accounts at dozens of websites. Now, a question for you is, when was the last time you connected to a website or app you don't really know? Because maybe right now, some developer or some attacker has your Facebook token and he uses it to connect to other websites right now, as you see it in here. So it's really insane, really. Now, I really want to share the names of those targets. I really want, but I can't right now. But if you're really interested to see the names, you can follow us in our blog, in our journey to 1.5 billion accounts. Maybe it will be 2 billion accounts. And you can scan the QR code, take a few seconds to scan it, or you can remember Salt Security Company, Salt Labs. Now, we will publish the next post about those targets in August. Okay, so if you want to scan it or to take a picture, now we have the time. So that's all. I know that this slide has a lot of information. It's a several months research that I try to compress into one presentation, but you can read the blog. I think that if you will read the blog post, it will answer all your questions. But if you have questions, you can talk to me. I'm here, and you can also send me a mail later or catch me on Twitter, but I'm here. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay.